So starting the test drive in the kicks here. First of all, I'm so proud of Nissan for taking away the button and giving us 3 different drive modes. So we used to just have the standard, and then we'd have the eco button over here, and then we have the sport mode on the shifter. But now we have the switch like we have in a lot of the more modern Nissan. So if you want to change your drive modes, you don't have to make sure this is off and then turn this on. You just have either eco, standard, or sport. And I don't know why we haven't done this, why it took us so long to do this. But that's a big plus over the outgoing gear, I think, because we just have to like configure it. Now it's just, again, push of a button. Now, when the shifter's in drive, it's kind of hard to see, but if you know where the button is, not really a big deal as long as you just remember that, because you won't be able to see it from this perspective. But overall, it's what you'd expect from a Versa with a hatch. Again, like the Corolla versus the Corolla Cross. It has the same driving dynamics as the Versa. It just kind of is taller. But I'm glad they didn't try and put the 1.6 in this newer body style, because that engine is just, it's not enough for this size vehicle. The 2-liter is barely enough, but you still get that great fuel economy that you want from a Kicks, from a Versa. But they just really, I think Nissan did their thing with this model in particular. It's a lot better than the outgoing Kicks. It's, and I remember when the outgoing Kicks came out, everybody was like, oh, this is so cool. But it just reminded me of the Nissan Juke. This feels like a mini Rogue. And that's what a lot of people want in this segment. They want something that gets great fuel economy, doesn't even drive as big as an SUV, a small SUV. They want a compact car with more space. And that's what you get here. I'm not really hearing any sounds out of the ordinary. I don't want to say it's surprising, but it's impressive. All I can hear is my plate moving about in the windshield, but everything else, I'm not hearing any creaks, any rattles. And I'm listening for them. I think I can feel my seatbelt moving a little bit, but other than that, I mean, I'm very impressed with the overall sound in here. Now I want to give a big thanks to John Roberts Nissan here in Manchester, Tennessee, again for allowing me to review this Kicks today. I'll leave a link below in the description, but if you're looking to find the best price on one of these new, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get to the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. And if you're just here looking and you're wanting to get you know, something a little cheaper, save some money, and you want that older body style Kicks, maybe even an older body style Versa, hit that third link down below. Again, takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get to the best price on any pre-owned vehicle you might be interested in. But I do just like how this feels, again, more like a smaller Rogue as opposed to a Versa SUV in terms of the feel you get behind the wheel. This still feels relatively agile for what it is. The space is fantastic. It just happens to share more with the Versa, but it feels more like the Rogue in all of the good ways. You still have that feeling of compactness with the Versa, the same feeling, I guess, of saving money, fuel economy, all of that. And honestly, this eco mode has done a pretty good job at getting me up to speed when I need it, but then also just keeping the revs as low as possible to stay fuel efficient. But we are going to put it into sport mode now. It might take me a minute. I think everybody's getting off of work. Oh, today's my lucky day. Here we go. And something else I really like about this car is just how they did the speedometer here. You can see miles per hour, you can see kilometers an hour right there below it. It's just it's a very neat gauge cluster setup, I think. Now you don't get lane centering here, lane keeping system. You do get the adaptive cruise though, which is nice. But honestly, I'm not even touching the wheel. This sways a lot less than most other vehicles that I take down this interstate. It's been staying in the lines. Now as we come over here, it's gonna try and get off. But that was impressive with just how steady the wheel is. Just easy to coast down the road. It's not moving, and that just shows that it's not moving because it's staying still and it's staying straight. But sound acoustics in here are very good as well, surprisingly good. I was expecting to hear a bit more wind noise, but I'm not. And I think for the money, you get a lot here. I'm so glad they put this bigger infotainment system here, even on the SV. We have single zone automatic climate controls. We don't have the cheaper knobs and buttons and all of that. We still get a wireless charging pad, 2 USB-C ports, the adaptive cruise. This is a solid option for this price point. Not even including the drive modes that you can toggle between, the blind spot monitors, and then just getting the LED light bulbs throughout as well. I feel like Nissan really listened to the customer base past few years, because when you get an SV, you don't want to feel like you're in an S. And I feel like that's what the SV is this year. This feels like a borderline SL, and that's what you want. You want customers to feel like they're getting more for their money, and you want them to be pleased with their vehicles and not feel like you tried to, cheap out everywhere you could. So kudos to Nissan for that. And with all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2026 Nissan Kicks SV.